This conference will now be recorded.
In the previous session, we talked about the autoscaling group, which is one of the very important resource we have from the AWS. And autoscaling group, with the help of autoscaling group, we actually manage the EC2 servers. So there we just handle all the autoscaling group resources. That is the EC2 servers we are handling with the autoscaling group. And now how it is exactly handling all the EC2 servers is basically we required one launch template, one extra resource associated with the ASG. Launch template is the one who is going to provide the configuration of EC2 to the ASG, and then we created the ASG and we just saw that how it's working, right? So this is the thing that we learned, and then further we have to integrate the load balancer actually. Okay, so load balancer is actually separately a resource. Okay, it has nothing to do with the AHG, but it works hand to hand because the architecture we are expecting here to create has to be scalable automatically. Okay, so at any position, if the load comes, so it should get distributed. That's what the load balancer will do. Now, what is exactly load balancer role is? So you have understood here that we can create something that is a number of EC2 servers, and let's say here in each of the server we have the application running. So if my user wants to connect to this application, so we need to consider something that is a one single endpoint. Okay, so if user wants to connect, so we cannot just provide the IP of this server or IP of this server. Each one has one IP, correct? Each server has one IP, but we cannot just provide the IP, and with the IP we will say to our user that just go and put this IP in your browser, and that's how you will be able to access the application. Now that's not how we will be telling to the user, and that's the reason here we are looking for to have the am I am I audible, guys? There was a break, right? There was a break in internet.
Yeah,
Yes.
break is there, Amul. Now you are audible.
Hello.
Yeah, Amul, you are audible now.
Okay. Structure of the internet. All right, guys. So I hope now I'm audible, and internet shouldn't fluctuate. Okay, fine. So let me come back on to topic. Okay, so I was talking about that here we have one single person, and we have here the multiple machines. All of these machines are the EC2 servers, and now in this case that these persons want to access the application with a single endpoint because we have a multiple application placed in a multiple server. I mean the single application placed in a multiple server. Okay, Now we want a single endpoint to connect to this application. That's the first requirement here we have. Okay. And the other second most important requirement here we have, that is the, you see this, all the applications that we have means what, like we have these many servers. So a distribution of the load should happen equally. Okay, so something, let's say we have the 10,000 requests coming here at this moment. So probably we're looking for to get distributed in 3,333. Okay, something like that. We just want to distribute the requests among equally. That is the second important thing we're looking for. And both of these things can be satisfied one resource called as a load balancer. Because over a period of time, we will be just keep adding the number of instances here as the traffic grows, and as there we require a load balancer. So load balancer is the AWS managed service. Okay, AWS managed service it is. So what component they are using here, or hardware part or anything related to that, we don't have any access. Okay, we just provide your requirement, that how you'd like to have, where it should get created. So that requirement we just tell to AWS, but we don't have actual access of load balancer resource. Okay, like the way we log into the EC2 machine, so like that we can't log into the load balancer resource. Okay, that's the one thing. Second thing, that load balancer is completely managed by AWS means what, that over a period of time, let's say here you just keep growing your network. Okay, now let's say earlier at initial stage you had the 5 the machines running, and over a period of time, let's say behind this load balancer you have a 500 machines. Okay, so of course this load balancer should also gradually increase, correct? So let's say at initial, as per your traffic requirement, AWS is going to assign one load balancer here. Now over a period of time, if behind the scene machines, number of machines got increased, then of course this particular load balancer should also grow. So that part will be taken care automatically by the AWS, and that's something we don't have to take care about. Okay, so AWS manage, it's AWS managed network service means what, completely management will be taken by the AWS itself. So here we don't have to make any provisioning as such from our end, and that's the best part. Okay, so here we have to create a load balancer. Now load balancer is going to give us the two benefit. One is going to provide a single endpoint to connect to the multiple application, and the second one here, the load distribution to all of these machines will happen via the load balancer. Okay, so that's something here we're looking for. So let's go ahead and implement it. Okay, now one thing here, we need to understand, like when we are integrating it with the ASG. Okay, so this all the machine scaling, okay, this machine scaling will happen with the help of the auto scaling group. Okay, so who will create a EC2 server? So it's a ASG. Okay, who will create your EC2 resources? It's a ASG. You can also create the EC2 servers manually, and you can add them inside the target group. Okay, so that's something you can do it, but that's optional. Okay, optional in the sense that that's not the best practice. So for how long you will keep adding the EC2 servers within that target group? Okay, now what is target group? I'll come to that. So we need to learn few of the terminologies before going and talking about the load balancer. So here the very first resource we have, we need to talk about within the load balancer is going to be the target group. Okay, now what is meant by target group? Basically, target group is nothing but that you need to add, okay, you need to add your machines, or like what is your target is going to be. Okay, load balancer is going to forward the traffic to the target group actually. Okay, and here in the target group we need to add the machines. Okay, so target is nothing but it's a group of machines that what is your target is. So here you add the EC2 servers. Okay, that's what your target is going to be. So this is what is the meaning of the target group is. So target group is basically a group of machines where we are going to forward the traffic. Now, is it compulsory that the target is has to be your EC2 server? No, it's not. Okay. So we have a various options available there that while creating target group or choosing a target group. So your target could be, let's say, the other load balancer, or your target could be your ECS services, okay, or your target could be the EC2 servers, or your target could be placed not here, that is not like here you are creating EC2 server, but on some other platform or on on-premise network, okay. So your target could be placed at anywhere. So all of these targets are allowed here. Now where we get that option to choose, okay, I'll show you that one. But in most of the cases, your EC2 servers are going to be your target. So that's what your target group means. Okay, what is meant by target group? Target group is nothing but it's a group of machines or target machines that where we have to forward the traffic. So that's what the target group is. Next thing, once now we have understood the target group, let's move ahead to understand the next one. So the next resource we have, which is some small one, okay, and that we call as a listener. Okay, listener is something we have actually in this way. Now that's not something visible resource, but while creating the load balancer, we just create it. Okay, so the architecture of the load balancer is going to be this way. That here we have a load balancer. People are going to connect to this load balancer from outside. Then load balancer is going to forward traffic to the listener, and then listener is going to further forward the traffic to your target group. Now this is going to be your basic architecture. Okay, now in this case here listener is going to play a role which is related to the health check. Okay, so what is the purpose of the listener? Listener is basically going to understand whenever it is forwarding a traffic to its server. Okay, let's say here we have server 1, server 2, like that. So whenever a listener is forwarding a traffic to this EC2 machines, so it is going to listen that whether those servers are available awake or not. Okay, means what? That here in this case, let's say listener is trying to connect to EC2 server, and behind the scene that your application is working fine. But let's say after some time, okay, after some days, because of some reason, this particular server went down. Okay, now how load balancer will come to know that there is one server down and we shouldn't be forwarding traffic to it? If server is not having that ability to understand that if or something one of the EC2 machine is down, in that case load balancer might forward the traffic there, and whichever requests are going there, okay, so those will not get entertained, and because of which those users who are going to and connecting to that EC2 machine will not get the the acknowledgement and the output, right? So that's the reason here we should have some mechanism to understand is your machine is awake behind the scene, okay, in inside your target group, whichever the EC2 servers you have. So within that is that your application is running. So this listener is going to do what? Like we will be telling to listener that this particular port on which your application is running, and listener is going to check the health status. Okay, it's going to keep asking to your application that are you awake? Okay, are you awake? Like that, it is just going to send a query. And once it is receive the response, so it is going to declare that machine as a healthy one. If at all there's something problem happen and the application didn't respond, so listener is going to ask again after a few seconds, and like that we can set up that how many times it should ask and everything. So it is going to ask one more time, and still if it didn't receive response, then listener is going to declare that machine as unhealthy, and load balancer is not going to forward traffic. Now that's an internal thing happen, okay, but I just tell you because you guys should know about it, okay. So that's what the listener do, okay, that's what the listener do. And the third component here we have to create, that is a load balancer itself, okay, that load balancer where traffic will get forwarded. So that's something here we have to create, okay. So let's go ahead and do it now. So what exactly we are going to achieve here is this particular scenario. Now here, that we can just build this simple scenario in which we can create a target group by ourselves, okay, and we can add the machines here, okay. But here over a period of time, the number of machines count is not in your hand, because of course you cannot predict that how much traffic the your machine or like your application is going to come, okay. So that's the reason here the infrastructure, this EC2 infrastructure has to get created with the with your AG, okay. So AG you are going to integrate here with the load balancer. That's what we are going to do now, okay, great. So let's understand then how to create this overall scenario. So very first thing here, I can do what, I can just go to the AWS console. Let me go there. Okay, so here we have the EC2 server, and okay, now right now we don't have any machines running, okay. So we would like to run few, and that too with the help of the AG. So that's what our aim is. So what we'll do is like we will go step by step, okay. You guys know how to create a AG. So we will configure the AG, but before than that, uh, let's just confirm, like, do we have the any launch template created? So yes, that day we have created one launch template, and within this launch template, basically, let me confirm what AMI ID we have considered, or let me choose Ubuntu one. Okay, so that's a third version we have here, the latest one. We will do what? We'll just create one more launch template. Okay, let's say modified template, and here I'll give. Let's say I'm choosing what I'm just going to have the Ubuntu operating system. Okay, uh, inside that I'm going to change this particular AMI. That's what I want to do. So here I will go and choose the Ubuntu is the operating system choosing here. Rest T2 micro is good. The Linux demo triple one is good. The subnet and everything I'm not choosing anything. Security group we have already selected, and yes, everything looks great. And now finally I will say create template version. So we have the launch template available. Launch template is nothing but It's a template of your EC2 server configuration, that how your EC2 should get launched. So that configuration here we have included. Okay, great. Second thing, let's move on the topic that we talked about, that is the creating a target group. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a target group. So here I can go and set target groups. Right now we don't have any target groups, so create one, create target group. Now inside this you can see that your target type could be your instances, IP addresses, Lambda function, application load balancer. Okay, so these are the targets you have. Means what? Behind the scene you can keep this of the thing. So you can create the instances EC2 server, and then you can add those, or let's say you have the resources created on various platforms such as Azure or on-premise network. Okay, so you can take the IP addresses of those targets and you can put it here. Lambda function is one more service we have from AWS, that also you can integrate. And the application load balancer, like you can, like behind the scene also you can put one more application load balancer is something, you can also have scenarios like that. So right now here our intention is to create the instances. That's a most general frequent your use case is going to be. So let me go with that. So here I'm choosing the instances, and then I can give some target group name as per your requirement. So let's say it's a demo target group. Protocol is going to be 80. Now VPC. Okay, so VPC, I have a web VPC or a default VPC. So right now I'm just choosing your default VPC. If you wish to go with your custom created VPC, you can go with that. Okay, so HTTP protocol is one is good. Then the associated load balancer periodically send a request. Okay, so like this is the health check. Okay, that here behind the scene your machines are going to run. So like what is your health check protocol is going to be? So keep it HTTP. Basically, that's something is a protocol, and on that protocol, uh, your your application is running. So when listener is going to ask to target group, so it is going to respond on which particular protocol. So it's port 80. HTTP is the protocol that we are going to keep it. So that's something I'm just keeping by default. Further here, how many times that I should be checking the health check. Okay, so the number of consecutive health checks success required before considering a unhealthy target healthy. Okay, basically let's say that target is unhealthy and now machine has came up and application is running. So you are going to send a first request. Okay, then we got a success response. Then we are going to second send, third, fourth, fifth. Okay, like that. After 5 confirmation, we are going to declare that particular machine as a healthy. Okay, so you might would like to change this count. Okay, and then why one might would like to change this count basically. So let's say even my machine is healthy, still it is going to wait for 5 checks. Okay, and then it is going to allow that machine to send the traffic. So if you don't want to waste the time there, you can just increase or decrease this particular number of times. Okay, you have a second option, that is unhealthy threshold. A number of consecutive health check failure required before considering the target unhealthy. Okay, so let's say your target become unhealthy, so your this particular thing is going to check, is your target unhealthy? Okay, and it found that your target is unhealthy, but still it is going to check one more time. Okay, so that's a 2 times it is going to check. Okay, it might happen that let's say at in some cases your application is not that strong. Sometimes it just give the unhealthy status, but automatically it comes up. So that's the reason here you can increase this unhealthy threshold count, so that for first check, let's say it shows unhealthy, but in second check it shows healthy. Okay, so it is not going to remove that machine from target group. So that's what here the meaning of it. And then timeout is the amount of second during which response means
Amal,
fail check. Yes.
if first time it is unhealthy and second time if it is showing as healthy, then it will check for 5 times for healthy threshold, then it will add. Is it so?
So healthy threshold means what? That let's say in first case it is found, so it is a like attempts required before considering an unhealthy target healthy. Let's say your machine is already in unhealthy state, then your load balancer is going to check for the first time. If it is found healthy, then still it is going to check for four more number of times, and then it is going to declare that machine as a healthy. Okay.
Okay, Amal.
And what about this unhealthy is whenever your machine is already in healthy state, but let's suppose that right now it just goes into the unhealthy state, so it is going to check that is this your machine is unhealthy. So it's just understood now that machine is unhealthy, but still it is going to check one more time, and after that only it is going to declare that this machine is unhealthy. Okay.
Okay, Amal. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So these are the few of the parameters you have. Okay. You can just keep increasing, decreasing. This is all about health check status. Not so important, but yes, if you want to, like, let's say time, you just don't want to waste a time or something. Okay. In such cases, you can change all of these parameters. But whatever right now default values we have, you can keep that as it is. Okay. So that's the one thing you have here. The next thing you have a tags. Okay, so you can say next and register target. Okay, so right now I don't have any target. Okay, now I told you that if you can just add the manually also EC2 machine. So this is a place you can add the instances manually. So let's say you don't want to create the AHG, and you are creating the EC2 servers manually, and you just wish to add the instances manually. So this is a place where you can add it. So all the available instances you should be able to see it here. Then you can keep adding the instances and just say include as pending, and here the target machine should get added. Okay. But right now we want to go with the load balancer way. Okay. Sorry, the AG way. So in AG, don't launch any of the EC2 machines, because AG is going to launch the your EC2 server. So let's keep it blank. So I'm not creating anything here. Okay. So I'll say create target group, and we have created the target group without putting anything as your register target. Okay, so we don't have any target registered here, but yes, target group creation is something done. Okay, now group of machines we have created, but within that the machines are not there still. Okay, because ASG is going to create your machines. So let's wait for some time for that. Okay, the next thing here we have to do what? So target replication is done, and now let's go ahead and create the load balancer, and along with that listener will also get created. So I will scroll down, and here I have one option that is the load balancer. Now when I'm talking about creating a load balancer, so there we need to understand the types of the load balancer also, because I have the 3 load balancer created here. Let me delete those because those are going to cost me. For some reason I have created those. Yeah. Now here you see that I don't have any load balancer like you guys. Okay. Now the next thing is we have to create a load balancer, and let's create one. Okay. But before creating a load balancer, you guys should be aware about one thing, and what is that? So when we are creating a load balancer, okay, so there we have 3 types of load balancer. Okay. Mainly 3. We also have the 4th one, but we don't use that 4th one because that's something older previous generation load balancer we say. Okay, now we have a better one, which is the application load balancer. Okay, Now this was the by default load balancer that we used to create very long time ago. Okay, now that is replaced by the application load balancer. Application load balancer is considering like we consider it is like a more advanced than your classic load balancer, and that's the reason application load balancer is the one that we use it almost everywhere. Okay, like for all the use cases, application load balancer is the ideal load balancer that we go and create it. Okay, so application load balancer is what it is mainly used for sending the HTTP and HTTPS traffic. Okay, basically you can imagine that you are running the application, and within that application you have the application like a web application, website application or web application, where a traffic is coming on HTTP or HTTPS port. So though that kind of a traffic, that application load balancer can handle for you, and in most of the cases like that kind of a traffic we have to handle it via load balancer. Now that's what like the general type of all the workload that it just handle. And request level application load balancer provide advanced routing, okay, visibility features. So these are the features we get. So overall it is a good load balancer we have when we have something like a microservices architecture or container architecture. In such case, the application load balancer is ideal solution that you can go with, and that's what we use in most of the use cases. Okay, then we have a second load balancer, that is a network load balancer. Now network load balancer works on the fourth layer of the OSI protocol. OSI fourth layer protocol, like transport layer, and there we have, these are the protocols we have, that is a TCP, UDP, okay, TLS. So these are the protocol we have. Now what this actually, so ALB works on the seventh layer protocol, that at application level, and network load balancer works on the at lower level. So that gives us the advantage that you can send any kind of a traffic via the network load balancer apart from your HTTP and HTTPS. Okay, so here network load balancer has some use case. Okay, uh, network load balancer is first of all the costly load balancer compared to your application load balancer. And here what it provides to you is the ultra high performance. Okay, means performance of your load balancer is going to be much more in case of network load balancer. So network load balancer is what it is a type of the resource. Okay, network load balancer is a type of resource who is having a static IP behind the scene, and this particular load balancer is going to be like when we have to use it in the case where you want a performance to be really high. Okay, what does it mean? So you can imagine something, the application which is really popular. Okay, so such kind of application we can forward the traffic to them. Okay, so let me give you example. Let's say right now we all use like a lot of real-time examples. Few of the applications might order a food for you, or few of the application can book a taxi for you. Okay, so those kind of application require something the very low latency and a real-time execution. So such kind of application which are really massive in traffic. Okay, so such kind of application we require the network load balancer. On the other side, let's say you just want to show some website. Okay, like not all the applications are that popular, right? So in such case you can go with the application load balancer. Application load balancer itself can handle so many requests. Okay, but when the performance is something that the factor you have to consider, in that case you go with the network load balancer. So let's say if I talk about you want to stream a live match, okay, of any sport, and for that match you have so many visitors. Okay, so in such case, when the things are happening in the real time, okay, in such case we want the ultra low latency. Okay, such thing can be provided by the network load balancer to you. So that's a major difference. We have the application load balancer and the network load balancer, and in maximum cases like you will be ideally working with the application load balancer, and in few rare case you'll be working with network load balancer. Okay, Now we have one more, that is a gateway load balancer, that we don't use usually, but this is basically we have for a security devices. Okay, so let's say we have n number of security devices, and from outside we would like to connect to your security devices like firewall or something. Okay, we have to access that. So in such case, we can create a gateway load balancer, and gateway load balancer is mainly for the your security devices. Okay, so if you have something use case that, then you can go with the gateway load balancer. So these are the three type of load balancer we have. So any doubts, question, guys, you have till the time, like whatever we discussed so far, starting from the introduction of your load balancer. Right now we discuss about the types of load balancer. So any questions you guys have?
Amol, so how frequently we will be using network load balancer in real time? Like, is it on?
Until unless you have some use case like that. Okay,
Okay,
so if your use case says that it requires something ultra high performance, of course the costing of the load balancer is also good, right? So if you have application like that, in that case you can go with the network load balancer. Or second use case you have, that is the when somebody is asking to have a static IP behind your load balancer. Okay, so what happened? Application load balancer does not provide you the static IP. Okay, like behind the scene, it is going to provide you a DNS name, and you will be using the DNS name for connecting your application. But behind the scene again, to that DNS name, they have the IPs. So those IPs are not fixed. But in case of network load balancer, you also get the DNS name, but the DNS name is fixed. Okay, so that's what the use case is going to be, that if you wish to have a static IP, or if your application something requires a very low latency. Okay, in both of this case you go with the network load balancer.
okay, sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
thank you.
yeah. So this is about the major difference, and as I mentioned that most of the cases we go with the application load balancer. So let's go and create one. Okay, so I'll click on create. It's asking me to provide the load balancer name. So name as per your choice. Let me say demo ALB. Next thing is that how you would like to have a load balancer. Either it's a internet facing, internal, how you would like to have it. Uh, so you would like to access that load balancer over internet. Okay, so that's a one option you have here, and that's the reason here you are creating the internet facing. Next thing is the IP address type. IPv4 is something I would like to go with, so let's skip that. Network mapping. Okay, now be careful about while choosing the network mapping, because just see the next thing that we are going to create is going to be the AG and your load balancer, right? So all of these things should belong to the same VPC. Okay, it cannot be like one is in some other VPC and other one is like that's something you have to take care of. So right now I have created one more resource, that is the target group. So at the time also I have the option to choose in which VPC I'm creating it. So I have chosen the default VPC. So let's keep the default VPC. Now within the default VPC you have one more option, that is to choose the mappings. Okay, now here be careful about, like, read about it. Okay, select at least two availability zone, one per zone. Okay, at least select two AZ, and within that AZ you have to select the one subnet. So here in this case, okay, in my case, the default VPC has three subnets. Each one is created in the three different AZs. Okay, so we need to choose at least two. Okay, we cannot just choose one or something. Okay, we have to choose the two one. The load balancer routes the traffic in these availability zones only. So if I, like, while selecting here, let's say once I haven't selected, okay, just assume that once I haven't selected. So in the future, that if I create the any of the like, easy is not at all going to create the machine here, or let's say AZ created a machine here, still you won't be able to send the traffic there. Okay, so that's something you have to keep in mind. Okay, so let's say I'm selecting the 1A and 1B. Let's take the third one also.
Amol,
Okay,
once can
and
you repeat that?
okay, so what I just said now is that this particular thing, okay, that you are selecting the load balancer, the mappings. Okay, basically what you're selecting is that where your load balancer should get created, so it will get created in the default VPC. That's the first thing, and then it has to send the traffic to the EC2 machines. Okay, but to which all mappings it has to consider. So here we have a multiple AZ, 1A, 1B, 1C, and within that we have a subnet basically, and within that again we are creating the EC2 machines. Okay, so how many AZs you wish to forward the traffic? Okay, either it's a 1A, 1B, like, but we have to choose a two minimum. Okay, you cannot just choose one and you will go ahead, because load balancer has to, ideally that's what we want, right? We should be sending a traffic to the multiple machines. So for a safer side, that load balancer, AWS want us to select the minimum two AZ that we have to select. Okay, so as per your VPC, I'm selecting the minimum two we have already selected. So once it's your choice that whether you would like to choose that one or not. Okay, so let's keep the two one. Okay, 1A and 1B. That one I'm choosing here. Is that good, Sushila?
Yes, Amol. But in case in VPC, we did not create two or three subnets, and only for our person. For now, we have created one subnet. In such case, it will be an issue here, right?
Correct. So we need to create at least two subnets to forward traffic. If you have only one subnet, you cannot create a load balancer.
Okay, Amol.
Yes. All right. So let's move ahead. Now here we have a security group. Now this is a security group is of your load balancer. Okay. Now that's something we have to take care of. Okay. We'll take care of later. Okay. But just to remember that security group is something we have to set up. Okay. Like right now, I'm just keeping the default one. I'll just move ahead. And here is the thing that where we need to set up the listener. Okay, now this is a listener resources, and what this listener is going to do, it is going to listen the application on the port 80. Okay, so we will be launching one application on port 80, and if that application works, okay, if that application works, so then only this listener is going to declare that instance as healthy, and we are going to forward the traffic to the target group. So here you can see we have a target group. So you need to choose a target group, right? So we have just few at the start of the session. We have created this target group. So there is nothing right now. Okay. But the machines will get added by the ASG. Okay, that's something we know. Fine. Let's move ahead. And yeah, we're good with all things. Okay. So configuring your load balancer is again not a big deal. You just have to go with the flow. Provided some name. This settings is already selected. Network mappings and everything. We just little bit talked about it. And finally we are good with all the things. We are left with security group, but yeah, we'll configure it. And then finally here I'm gonna say create load balancer. So your load balancer creation is in progress, and it will take some 1 to 2 minutes of time to provisioning. Okay, so we're done with the two resources creation. One is target group, in which we have to consider target later, and load balancer is something we're done with it. Now let's go and create the auto scaling group. Okay, now one more thing I just wish to do here is that within the launch template, I want that as soon as my application is coming up, I want something to be running there. Okay, let's run some application here. At the launch time itself, I want something to be running there. So that's my fourth launch template we have, and here I have chosen the Ubuntu as operating system. Okay, last time we made one change here. One more changes I would just want to do, and what is that? I would like to insert the user data. Okay, I would like to insert a user data. And why is that? I will explain to you, but just give me a second. So I'll go to action. I will say modify template, create a new version, and then I will just scroll to the last. Okay, in the advanced detail, I'll go to last, and we have here the launch template like user data, but that's not something I am expecting. I'm expecting something else because here I have chosen the Ubuntu operating system. So here I'll say apt get update, and here I'll say sudo apt get install Apache 2, and I will also provide a -y flag here that Apache 2 installation is something has to be done automatically. So auto approval is something I have provided here with this -y flag. So you can see these are the two commands that we need to provide. Okay, and these two commands will make the Apache to be running in your machine. So in this case, we are keeping a very simple example, but just you guys have to think about that whatever your application is, okay, whatever your application is that you wish to run it all the time, okay, so that thing here you are going to write a script for that. So let's say you require an artifact from this place, that place, okay, like you're taking the artifact from S3 bucket, or you require a Java has to be running, okay, all the softwares that whatever you have a requirement, maybe installation and everything, okay, every single installation or everything you should be putting here, so that when your machine gets launched, okay, you don't have to log into that machine and then manually fix the installation thing. So all that thing you have to handle it via script. Okay, so here you will be writing a script, and that will,
Hello.
yes.
Small dot. If we are doing manually installing the commands, if some error is there, we can see and we can rectify. But when we are going with user data, if some error is there, it we will not be able to trace it, right, of where it went wrong. Then such cases, how it will be, how we can handle that?
Okay, so when we are finalizing the things, okay, so let's say you're getting some error or issue at initial, okay, so that's simply understood, okay, but over a period of time you have to come up with something, the script that should be the error free. Okay, and let's say you want to happen, you just want to understand that what is happening within this script. Okay, so you can print the output here. Okay, let's say you just want to print the output of this script on some location that whatever the script here you have written, so is that script went well, is there installation of this Apache was successful, you want to understand that. So you can you can just mention one exec command here. That exec command can print the output of the script to some location. Okay, if I tell you the example, let's say exec the output of command bash, something like that, just look for it. Okay, this is one exec command we have. No, oh, they're talking about execute. No, I just want exec. Okay, so you can see the exec command. Okay, so if I show you, yeah, that's something I'm looking for. I do have a lot of script written, but I'm not able to exactly recollect that command. Just give me a second. We'll ask to chat GPT. Mm, no, something like this. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, so you can exec this output to location. I'll show you. So that's something we can put here. Okay, at the start of your script. So what this is going to do is whatever the output of the script is printing. Okay, so it will create one file at this location, that is /home/ubuntu output.log. Okay, so at this position it is going to print that output, and this is going to exec means what, that output is will get printed, error and everything. Okay, so error and everything will get printed by this particular script. And of course you should be writing something, let's say echo we are executing the user data. Okay, so that whenever the command will get, so first of all this command will print, then sudo apt-get will have happen update. Okay, then you can say echo installing Apache 2, something like that. Okay, so now on each line it is going to print, so that by looking at the output of the script you can understand that till what your script has ran successfully, any of the error it causing, so you can understand this way. So this is the one troubleshooting step I just told you. We have one more way to understand it, but that's a little really complex one. There is one location where also you can get this output, but the problem with that is it is just not a user data execution. It shows like when the EC2 creates. Okay, so there are a lot of programs that is also installed by the AWS itself. So that cloud init is one location we have where we can also see the output of this, but the complexity is really high there. That's the reason if you just want to understand about the user data, this is a trick you can use. Okay, and then we use, okay, we use this one. So I personally use this one in my EC2 in general. Okay, so that is really helping us to understand about the user data. Okay, so but you have to remove all the mistakes. Okay, so that's one thing. Okay, you cannot just do the mistake in the user data so that your user data script will get failed, because in real time we just collect all the commands, and you have to be sure that what you would like to achieve, so you don't have to do mistakes. But any mistake you're doing, so that's how you can rectify. You can just check this output. Is it good?
Yes, Amol. While we are for sometimes we are using Chat GPT word, no? To use Chat GPT, is it that we should see some videos on YouTube for Chat GPT, or any prompt engineering we have to learn? Because many times we are using that word for Chat GPT. We can check with Chat GPT like that, no?
uh yeah, so see, uh going forward, this tool is going to be the part of every engineer's life, right? So you should be in sync that how to use that tool. Okay, let's say you don't want to use that tool, that's fine, but on the other side, that's something the future is. So we
No,
have to be
no. I am saying if I want to use, I don't want to use, no. I am saying if I want to use, how should I learn? That's what I am asking.
so see, like over a period of time you will come to know what prompts you should be using. I know that writing a prompt is also a skill, but you will come to know, okay, like over a period of time, like you just like keep searching. I don't think any prompt engineering or anything you required. What else you can do is just like look for 1 to 2 prompts, how to do it. That's maximum. Okay, you don't have to be expert, because your intention is something else. You just want to have an answer. Okay, just simply ask them in a plain language, and make sure that you have provided all the details to the chat GPT, that what you are exactly looking for. Okay, so then and then only it is going to give the result. Let me explain it right now also. In first case, when I search, so I didn't get anything, but I was just knowing, okay, like there's something like this thing, okay. So I should have written something to big prompt in which I should have completely make ChatGPT understand that what exactly I'm looking for. So that's how I'll get the answers, right? So that's something you will. It's all about finding out the answer, whichever the way you take it. I don't think any prompt engineer you require. It just keep doing the things on ChatGPT. You should be able to get that. Okay.
Okay, Amar.
Yes. Fine, guys. Okay, so we just modified here the launch template now, and you can see that that's something I just want to have Apache to be installed on that Ubuntu machine. Okay, I'll say create a template version, and I think this is the fifth version or something that we have created this version. Okay, so now if I check that how many versions we have, yes, so it's a fifth one is the latest one we have. Now finally I will go and create a ASG. I'll just click on the auto scaling group, and here we have an ASG as well. Okay, the last time ASG. Okay, so let me delete this one, the existing ASG, and here we'll create a new one. So just say create auto scaling group, provide some name, let's say demo ASG, launch template. I'll be choosing the web app launch template, and make sure that version, selecting version. Okay, so here you have the 5 versions in total, but I would like to select the latest one. Okay, so latest means what? Every single time whenever we will be creating a latest version, so ASG is going to choose the latest version. Okay, fine. The next thing is I will click on next. The VPC is default I'm keeping. Okay, availability zone and subnet. I think I've selected a 1A and 1B for load balancer. So let's keep the 1A and 1B here as well and say next. Then load balancing. Here we have created a load balancer. So I can say attach an existing load balancer. So let's use it. Okay. So choose from your load balancer target group. So let's search for our target group. So this is the one we have created target group at the start of the session. And here everything looks good. Okay, so if you remember that for target group, like target group selection we have already done with the load balancer. Okay, that's the reason it's just a target group selection we have to do, and automatically it is going to send the traffic to that. I mean the okay, what is the job role of the ASG? ASG's job role is simple. Here we have created a target group. Okay, we have created a target group, and within the target group here you should be AG should be creating the EC2 server. That's what the job role of the AG is going to be. So that's what here we have done. And yeah, finally I'll say next. Your group size, how many instances that you want? Okay, let's say 2 machines you want. Minimum size 2, maximum let's say 5 instances. Target tracking policy. When your average CPU value will go above the 50%, it is going to add the instances for you. And say next. Any notification? No. Tags? No. And finally I'm gonna create a auto scaling group. So let's wait for some time now. Okay, it is going to create us the the 2 machines, and behind the scene it is also provisioning the load balancer also, right? So let's wait for that. Let's check. So yes, I can see the two of the instances we have it. And if I go back here, okay, so let me show you a few of the things. Okay, first of all, in the load balancer, when we create a load balancer, so we get something a DNS name. Okay, now if I click on a DNS name, so I have something listener and rule, and basically it is what is that listener rule is saying to forward the traffic to the demo target group. Okay, now we have the target group here. Now within this target group, here I should find the two of the machines. Okay, here you can see the two of the machines we have just launched, and still they are in unhealthy status. Okay, now you guys have to wait for some time. Okay, why? Because it is going to test that machine like 5 number of times, and then it is going to add those machines to be in the healthy state. So we have to wait for that. Okay, because just now we have launched the EC2 machine, so the EC2 machines are probably they are not in a running properly state. Okay, so what happened, like whenever you create a machine, here you can see the machine creation is done. Whenever a machine creation is done, after that your user data script will start running. So it will take some time. Then you will have something running on port 80. Then once something there is running on port 80, then your load balancer will understand that the listener will understand that things are good now, and after that, here you will have the things to be added in the healthy state. So we have to wait for some like for some time. That fine. Okay, so we can wait for some time, and after that you just need to take this DNS name, and you have to put in the browser to check the health status, or like to access your website. Now looks like the you're not able to get output. Okay, here you can check, it's just going and going and going. Okay, but it's not showing you the output. What do you guys think about this? Anyone here? What do you guys think about this? Like it's just like evolving but not giving us the output. What could be the reason?
It's not able to access the instance or the.
Security group may be the reason, Amal.
Yes, security group is a reason that we have. So I told you, just remind that what I said is that we haven't selected a security group. Like it was a default security group we had there. And if I show you, so if I go to the security section, I can find that this is a security group we have, which is a default one. Now this particular security group is useless. Okay, like there's nothing rule we have. Default security group is blocking your access. So from outside you're not able to reach out. Yeah, what is happening here? Let me explain to you. You have here the load balancer. Load balancer is going to forward traffic here. Whenever you are coming outside and trying to reach out to your load balancer, but before that we have a security group here. That security group is blocking your access, so you're not able to reach out to your load balancer. Now how you can fix that? So have one security group created and just attach it here. Okay, so in my case I do already have one security group. Okay, the LB one, right? So which is the same security group which we have this is the one. Okay, my LBSG. So this particular security group, you can see that we have the inbound rule. Okay, you can see that we have HTTP traffic. Okay, which is running on port 80. So that particular port is allowed for all. So we have that rule. Okay, so I'm going to add this particular security group to your load balancer. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, now that's something you have to do it manually, or like you could have do it earlier also, but I just wanted to show you purposely. That's the reason I'm doing it right now. So you have to go to security section, say edit. Now that this is not something you want, right? So just remove that, and here I'm gonna say LB. Okay, my LBSG. So save changes, and now you have added security group. Let's go back and refresh this page. Okay, I'm getting the bad gateway. Okay, I'm getting the bad gateway. Means what? Now the error is different. Guys, see, by looking at the error, you have to understand that what is happening behind the scene. Okay, so as soon as you allow the port 80, I mean via the security group. So first issue was with the security group, so that's something we have fixed, and now we are getting the 502 bad gateway. Means what? 502 series, any of the error you see means a server issue. Okay, it is a server issue. Let me check with the target group. Is your machine status is healthy? No, it's still unhealthy. Okay, you guys can just see, you guys can confirm that unhealthy means what? Your application is not running there. Okay, your application is not running on the EC2 machine. So now it's time to log into your machine and see what's happening wrong there. So let me take the public IP here. CD downloads sh-i. It's a Linux demo 111 is a key. Ubuntu @ this is the public IP we have. Okay, I cannot do the SH because again for this security group, it's again a MyLB security group. We have allowed the port 80 and port 8080, which is not enough. Okay, we need to allow the port 22 also for login purpose. So let me say here add rule SH. So to do the SH, we always require a port 22 has to be there. And here I'm gonna select all people. Okay, say save rule. So we have allowed this third IP. Okay, we have allowed this SH1. And now if I go and try to log in again, you guys can see I'm getting the prompt. So let me say yes. Oh, we got permission denied. Why? Let's confirm the what is the instance key we have kept. So what is the key we have with which we have launched the instance? It's a Linux demo 111. Yeah, the same key I consider here. Okay, let me see what is the operating system we have here. Oh, why Amazon Linux? Give me a second, guys. So it has considered, I have chosen the latest AMI. I think it has considered the older AG template. Okay, launch template is it has considered older one. Let me confirm. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to check the. So you can also see where is your user data. Okay, I can see that user data is correct, but surprisingly here it has chosen the Amazon Linux. And why is that? Let's confirm. Okay, so let's go to launch template. In the launch template, in the 5th version, that's what my AMI ID is. But now there's no way that I can understand what this particular. Okay, one thing. Okay, I understood. What happened, guys? Like the next time when I created the launch template, so it was out of your default, the version. So there, if I show you for 4th one, you can see this is what the AMI ID we have. Okay, so next time we change the your that user data, but we forgot to change the AMI ID. Okay, so let's fix that. That's what the issue here we have. So we haven't changed this AMI ID. You can think like this way, and we need to modify the template. Okay, so 5th version here I've selected. I'll say modify template, and we are modifying now 5th template. Okay, so last time I don't know which template I chosen. That's the reason we caused the problem. So you see here the Amazon Linux is selected right now. Amazon machine. You can see AL2. Okay, so that's the Amazon Linux 2. Here I'll go to quick start. and I will choose the Ubuntu as the operating system. Okay, now here I have selected Ubuntu one, and I will also confirm what is the user data we have. Okay, yes, user data is correct, and AMI also we have correct. Okay, everything looks good now, and see here also create a template version. Now that's the 6th version we have. Okay, so this is the 6th version we have, the latest version. And in ASG, if I go in ASG auto scaling group, if I go and check, so there I can find that version I have kept it latest, right? So right now I have these two instances which is running with the older AMI. So for a quick change, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say here 00. So my instances will be get killed. Okay, here termination is going to happen, and again I'll go and say edit, and we'll make it instances count 2. So my existing instances will get deleted and new instances will get launched. Okay, so that's what here will happen. So let's wait for some time again for killing the instances and then provisioning again. Okay, right now I won't be having any instances. Okay, like the instances what you see right now, they are going to be deleted soon. So they are going to delete and new instances will come up in some time. And the new instances will have the Ubuntu AMI, and the user data will also get executed there. Okay, so let's wait till the time anyone can ask the questions if they have anything. Is this understood to you? What happened, guys? Like what happened, at what I corrected? What was the issue?
So Anmol, for suppose if we are creating a new launch template, will that be a latest means will it be considered as a new one, or will it be added as an update to the older version, like the
So
version?
whenever we create a launch template, so it will be always considered the latest one. Okay, but let me tell you what mistake I did here. Like here right now the latest is selected, right? So I just go here and I said modify template. Now if I just go and say here modify template, in that case it is going to create the launch template on top of your default version. Okay, so in default version I had the AMI, that is Amazon Linux, and I just changed your I just change your user data. Okay, now that's not a correct way, right? So I have to click on here. Then what is your version that you have the latest one? Okay, so select that one. So it's a 6th version, and you have to create the updated launch template out of this one, right? So 6th one. So here you will go and say launch template from here, like modify template, and that's how you will be creating the new launch template. Okay, is that good?
Yes.
Okay, so let's wait for instances to come up. Yeah, I think they are up now. Okay, we have this. Yeah, here we have these 2 of the instances running. So I'll just go and check the target group now, because target group is the one which will tell me about my health status. Okay, still they're not registered. Okay, let's wait for, yeah, yes, you can see here. So 2 of the instances are draining. Draining means what? They're just going out, and you can see here 2 of the instances are healthy now, and I should be able to refresh or check, get the output here. Let's see. Yes, here we go. So you can see within your application or EC2 server, you have these two of the machines, and there we have this web application, which is Apache. Okay, which is Apache right now running, and it is a test page, which is it's just showing to you. So this is the way that we have set up the load balancer with the AHG, and everything here is in the scaling mode. So by any chance that people start accessing this Apache application behind the scene, the EC2 instances addition will be done by the ASG. And at the initial point, like where you have the endpoint, people are connecting to the single endpoint load balancer. So that will gradually increase by the AWS itself. So that's what the best practice we do in the real-time scenarios, right? So ALB combination with the AHG is something that we are expecting to set up as a network. Okay, so yes, this is all I wanted to talk about. So any question, guys, you have here so far? Anything you want to ask?
Only one
Is it
question.
yes?
Uh,
Please go on.
like how can we identify to which server it is getting hit? As of now, we are using two different servers, right? So for which server it is getting hit, how can we check that, or how can we identify that?
Okay, it's a good question. Okay, so first of all, right now there is no way. Okay, let's say when I refresh it, so from whether it's a server one is responding or server two is responding, I cannot identify. And of course, the simple reason is that the machines are created by AHG, and AHG is going to create the standard machines. All the machines are going to remain same, and there is no way to identify simply. Let's say you want to do it by yourself. There's something. Let's say, uh, okay, I deleted that machine. So what is the way? Let's say you have to troubleshoot in any of the machine, or you just want to do something to understand. So probably what you can do is you can just log into any one of the machine. Okay, so there's the way the troubleshooting way I'm actually telling you. So what is that machine is running? So let's say here out of two, I'll just choose any one. Okay, what I can do is I can just go to that machine, and I'm getting the web page from something particular page. And what is that page is? So I can just again confirm that from the Apache website itself. So the page is coming located at the var www.html index.html. Okay, so I'll just go to that particular location, which is var www.html, and here we have that index.html. So if I remove that index.html, and I will create my own nano index.html, and here I'll say this is the test page. Okay, so I've changed it, and now if I refresh, you can see now I'm coming it from the second server. But see, for one time I came it here from the first server, and again from Ubuntu, like one time here, one time there. You see here, you get a point?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So yes, guys. So this is what the demonstration I wanted to provide you with the help of the ALB and AHE. Okay. So fine. If you don't have any questions, so we'll stop here for today's session, and yeah, tomorrow we'll meet at the same time at 7 a.m.
Sorry, one last thing. In VPC, I was going through, so do we need to have a knowledge on VPN or VPC peering?
VPC pairing, yes, it's good to know you about the VPC pairing. VPN is something you don't require all the time. VPC pairing you might require. So
Okay.
if you want me to teach on VPC pairing, I can teach you VPC pairing. VPC, like VPN. Okay, VPN is something when you have, let's say, some on-premise network, and yeah, so in such case where you would like to form the tunnel between your on-premise network with the AWS. So in such case, you might require. So, but somebody should have that VPN, connection, like the on-premise network. Then in that case, you can use it. Okay. So if you want, I can teach you the VPC peering part. VPN, I don't have any on-premise something, so I cannot teach you that. But yes, that you may just try by yourself. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Fine, guys. So we'll stop here. Okay. See you there in tomorrow's session. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.